scooch over a little bit, leave some room Hi, I'm Kate and welcome to my channel. So it's Sunday, time to talk new makeup releases yet again. So I'm going to scooch over a little bit, leave some room up here to post pictures of the things I'm talking about today, and I'll be right back. So let's dive right in with Colourpop. They have a few releases this week that have been sneak peeked, mostly Ulta releases. So the first two are Ulta exclusive. They are 9-pan monochromatic palettes. It looks like there's a teal one called High Tide. We haven't really seen teals from Colourpop, so I think this is kind of interesting. The other one is Fine Feathered Palette, just kind of pinks. That doesn't really interest me. I will see about the teal one. I do like playing with blues and greens and teals, so that's definitely a maybe for me. The other Ulta exclusive Colourpop palette is Lust for Dusk, and this just looks dusty and boring. It is a 16-pan palette. We haven't seen much in this size. I think the last one was the Truly Madly Deeply, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, this just looks really dusty and muted and dull. That's the word, dull. Looks very dull. And then the last release that I see from Colourpop this week is another one of their mega palettes, and this is You're Golden. So this is in the size of like the So Jaded and Bare Necessities Stone Cold Box. This is so boring. Colourpop Me, an account on Instagram, posted this before Colourpop released their color story, saying like this is kind of what they were hoping for, and I would buy this in a heartbeat. Now this is beautiful. But what Colourpop is releasing, I mean, it looks like Bare Necessities with a couple pops of color. Yeah, super unnecessary. That's a pass. Wow, I feel like I actually don't have that much to talk about this week. I don't know if it's because it's Memorial Day weekend, so a lot of brands are having sales on what they already have in stock. There's a new palette from KVD. I saw this and I thought it was like Wet n Wild or e.l.f., one of those brands. It's a matte and glitter palette. So 8 matte, 6 glitters. It just looks really cheap. It looks really boring. It's a pass from me. Alright, Made by Mitchell's brand is releasing some liquid bronzers. I guess he has some liquid blushes that were really popular, and now there's a set of bronzers. So they are 16 euros a piece. There are 8 different shades. Looks like a decent range. It's a pass for me. I'm not in need of any bronzers right now, but yeah. Alright, V Cosmetics. So I ended up passing on the Lovers palette. I just had a lot of similar shades in my Moira palette, so it was beautiful, but I ultimately passed on it. They are releasing the Blood Moon eyeshadow palette. So this is a little smaller. It's a 12-pan palette, so very purple, red, and pink, but in tones that I actually like. I'm not really a big purple pink person, but I actually really like these tones. I like that top left kind of burgundy shade, and then on the right, kind of that orangey shade. This is really pretty. Probably not something I will get at this point, but it looks really nice. Right, Makeup Revolution has a new collection with Soph. So that's Soph Does Makeup, Soph Does Life. I had, like, I think it was the second Soph and Makeup Revolution palette, and it performed fine. I just didn't really use it, so I ended up passing that along. This is a much more colorful palette. I think it's really pretty. I mean, it's got a lot of rainbow shades with a few other pops in there, most of the neutrals you would need, and then some other products in the collection. It's not something I need at this point. I think it looks pretty. I don't love Makeup Revolution's eyeshadow quality in general, so unless something like really calls to me color story wise, it's not going to be something I pick up. Alright, Notorious Artistry is releasing a palette, and this is the Polarity Palette, so I think it's supposed to be like a split of like warm and cold, day and night, something along those vibes. I really don't like this color story, as I'm wearing yellows and blues on my eyes today, but so many of the shades are going to look really similar on the eyes. I don't think there's enough differentiation. I don't like that the shimmers are as dark as the darker shades. Just for my preference, I much prefer like deep rich mattes and then brighter, lighter shimmers. It's definitely not for me. Not a brand I've heard of before. Yeah, just not really my color story. Right, Glisten Cosmetics is releasing their liner cakes for Pride. So it's like a full-on rainbow liner palette. So I think these are water activated liners. I haven't tried anything from them, but yeah, it's cute. Alright, Chanel is releasing a little eyeshadow quad. So it's celebrating 100 years of Chanel No. 5. I don't see a price, but I'm assuming it is insanely expensive because it is Chanel. It's like pretty boring neutral shimmers. However, that's kind of the audience I think of when it comes to Chanel and their makeup. So, alright, and Morphe is trying to be Kaja. So they essentially have these little bentos. There's a soft, it's 4 products. So there's a shimmer for the eyelids, a cream blush, a lip tint, and then a sparkly dewy balm. They have 5 different shades. They're $16 a piece. I mean, if you're very minimalistic and simplistic and just like to have all of your products in one place, it's a cute concept, but I don't love Morphe quality in general. I do really like the little Kaja bentos. This is a pass for me. Alright, Florence by Mills has a new collection coming out. It is the UBU collection. So there's a $25 eyeshadow palette. There are some really pretty colors in this. They look really dusty though, like I don't know how the pigment would be. It's not a brand I've tried. I hate the wasted space though. Like I hate this wasted space. Like the layout just could have been so much different. The pans could have been a little bigger. I just don't like wasted space. The palette's $25. Eyeliners are $14. It's a pass for me. Alright, Davina has been sneak peeking some of their new shadows. It looks like a few really pretty mattes. There's like a bluish shade that looks really beautiful. A hot pink, kind of a neutral peachy shade. Davina's been a brand like on my I want to try list. I haven't taken the dive yet. Maybe at some point. Probably not with these, but they look really pretty. Natasha Denona is releasing the Puff Paint Liquid Blushes. So these are $22 a piece or $56 for the bundle of 3. I haven't really done much with liquid blushes. Not something I'm interested in trying anytime soon, but yeah. Alright, Beauty Bay has a new collection. It is the Utopia Collection, spelled Y-O-U. Utopia. There's an 8 shade pressed pigment palette for $10, a water activated liner palette for $10, $5 pigment pots, and a set of, I think, 3 lip glosses for $20. So it's priced really well. Fun bright colors for summer. The eyeshadow palette doesn't really intrigue me, but the cake liners are really pretty, like those kind of neon orange, neon red, a teal, a deep purple, kind of a periwinkle blue. Those look really pretty. Not something I'm going to pick up, but looks nice. All right, Lunar Beauty, that's Manny MUA's brand, is releasing kind of an upgraded version of his Life's a Drag palette. So this is the facelift palette. I really like the variety of mattes in here. You have the whole left 9 pans is pretty much neutrals, but kind of some like plummy red tones in there as well. And then you have the right 9 pans, very much a rainbow palette, and then 3 shimmers down the middle. So again, I like the variety of mattes. I just wish there were more colorful shimmers in there as well. It's available June 2nd and it's $48. It's not going to be my first try at the brand, but I do think it's kind of fun. Alright, e.l.f. is releasing a new addition to the Putty Primer collection. So this is the Acne Fighting Putty Primer. I don't like the Putty Primer. I find that really any primer kind of adds texture to my skin, so I've stopped using primers altogether. But there's salicylic acid, which helps prevent acne. $9. There you go. Alright, Artist Couture has a new collection. This is the Fresh Face Forward collection. So it's a primer and powder and a lip oil, so just very fresh-faced kind of products for summer. The primer is $32, the powder is $34, and the lip oil is $20. It's a pass for me. Milani has a new palette coming out. This is the Ungilded Most Loved Mattes. So it's $20 for 12 shades. Just looks like a very warm, neutral palette. Milani is okay. Like there's some products that I really enjoy, some products that I've absolutely hated. Their eyeshadows were not my favorite, so this is definitely a pass for me. Wayne Goss has a new brush collection, so it looks like it's available on Beautylish. This is the Goss Edit collection. So I don't see what the individual prices of the brushes are, but there are 7 brushes and the set is $225. I've heard that his brushes are fantastic. I am just not willing to spend that amount of money to find out, but there you go. Alright, Peachy Queen, again, for however many weeks in a row. This one's a little more interesting than the rainbow palette last week. This is another rainbow palette, but it looks like there's some kind of neon tones in there. This is the Magic Mushroom palette. It is $29 US. It's available now. A lot of the neon shades just remind me of what I already have in the Moira Garden of My Mind palette, including that teal shimmer. Again, I wish there were some brighter shimmers to go along with the really bright fun mattes, but either way it's a pass. Ritual Defy has a new highlighter. So it's a limited edition Fawn Metaphoric highlighter. So I'm assuming Teresa is Dead will be all over this one. It looks really pretty. I would actually love to use this as an eyeshadow. But it says it's a dewy, glowing electric pink. It's $32. I won't be picking it up, but it looks really fun and really dimensional. Alright, and the last thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm most excited about, and it's the only thing that I know I am for sure going to pick up, and that is the black Moxie palette. This is the Potion palette. Now, I love greens and I love grungy vibes, so this is of course right up my alley. I love that there's a matte black in there. I think that looks like a beautiful true red. When I do reds, they tend to, you know, go pink on me, and I don't love pinks, or like the reds in the Melt palette that I have. They pull very orange, so I'm excited to, you know, try this out. It is available for pre-order June 5th, and anyone who follows me on Instagram knows that I'm obsessed with Black Moxie, especially their singles, and they do have another singles collection coming out. But that's not until June 25th. So keep an eye out. I will be getting this palette and I will be putting up a video with it. So that's all the new makeup I have for you this week. Let me know if you're picking anything up other than the Black Moxie palette. I guess maybe the teal Colourpop palette. Maybe. We will see. I don't have a lot of great teals in my collection, so maybe something I would add. We'll see. Haven't decided. But let me know if you're picking anything up. I'd love to hear from you. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.